Hello everyone, welcome to Courts Today by Live Law, your go-to source for the latest and fastest legal updates. I am your host Urvashi Chauhan, here to bring you daily developments, landmark judgments and significant rulings from the world of law. We will begin with the headlines and a concise overview of the top stories, and after that we will delve into the full details. The Supreme Court today reviewed the CBI status report on the RJ rape murder case. While agreeing to list the plea challenging the polls, the Supreme Court has denied to stay Punjab Panchayat elections. The Ministry of Law and Justice has directed that notaries should not execute marriage or divorce deeds. The Calcutta High Court has called for state's report on fatal coal mine blast in the Birbhum district. A Bengaluru court has granted bail to Congress leader B. Nagendra in money laundering case linked to the Valmiki corporation. A PIL has been filed in the Supreme Court to notify river conservation zones and prevent illegal constructions on river banks. And in the Nadapuram Shibin murder case, the Kerala High Court has awarded life sentence to 8 alleged Muslim League workers. The Supreme Court today heard the suo motu case taken over the rape and murder of a trainee doctor at Kolkata's RJ Medical College Hospital. A bench comprising CJI Chandrachud, Justices J.B. Pardiwala and Manoj Mishra heard the matter and examined the progress of the investigation by the CBI. The CBI informed the court that it has filed charge sheet against one accused named Sanjay Roy for the offences of rape and murder. That the additional Chief Judicial Magistrate had taken cognizance of the charge sheet and the matter is posted next on 4th November for hearing on charges. The CBI further stated in its status report that the investigation into the alleged role of others in the crime is still continuing, as is the investigation in the separate case regarding alleged financial irregularities at the hospital. The bench today directed that CBI should appraise the court of further developments in the cases by filing another status report in 3 weeks. The court also directed the state of West Bengal to disclose information on the details of recruitment process for hiring civic volunteers in the state police force. The court also expressed apprehension today of political patronage given to unverified civil volunteers. Further, the court today expressed dissatisfaction with the National Task Force, which was constituted to make recommendations on enhancing the security for medical professionals across the country. Solicitor General Tushar Mehta informed the court that an affidavit was filed outlining actions taken by the NTF. At the first NTF meeting on 27th August, 4 subgroups were formed to work with stakeholders and recommend ways to improve security at medical institutions and working conditions for medical professionals. A follow-up meeting took place on 9 September. A web link was created on the Ministry of Health's website to collect feedback, and about 17,000 suggestions were received from associations and individuals. He further said that a questionnaire was also shared with hospitals and responses from more than 7,000 medical establishments were being reviewed by the subgroups. The court today expressed dismay that the National Task Force had not held any meeting after 9 September and had not made substantial progress. It has now directed that the task force should hold regular meetings and complete its task within a period of 3 weeks. In the next update, the Supreme Court today agreed to list a petition challenging the Punjab Panchayat elections but refused to stay the elections which are taking place today. Last week, the Punjab and Haryana High Court had stayed the elections while criticizing the Punjab government for abusing power of the state machineries in the Panchayat elections at the stage of filing of nomination papers. It had also criticized the practice of arbitrarily rejecting candidates' nomination papers, leading to unopposed winners. But yesterday, the High Court vacated its stay order. Today, a petition challenging the elections on the ground of alleged irregularities was mentioned before the Chief Justice of India for an urgent listing. Though the CJI agreed to list the petition, he said that the elections cannot be stayed once the process has commenced. The top court was also of the view that staying the elections after the polling has commenced will have grave consequences and may lead to chaos. And now let me tell you, the Union Ministry of Law and Justice has asked all notaries to desist from executing marriage and divorce deeds as they are not appointed as marriage officers. In an office memorandum issued by the Department of Legal Affairs, the notaries have been cautioned that executing marriage and divorce deeds are against the law. The memorandum stated that as per plain reading of Section 8 of the Notaries Act 1952 and the Notaries Rules, the execution of marriage or divorce affidavit is not the function of the notary. A notary is neither authorized to certify a marriage nor competent to execute a divorce deed. Despite this position of law, the centre said that it has noticed cases where notaries are executing documents regarding marriage, divorce, etc. Further, in some cases, notaries are also issuing marriage certificates which have far-reaching consequences. It has referred to important judgments from the Supreme Court and the High Courts which held that notaries are not marriage officers and that notaries acting in violation of the Notaries Act are liable for professional misconduct. The Calcutta High Court vacation bench has called for a report from the state government on the blast at a coal mine in Birbhum district, leaving several coal miners dead and injuring others. A division bench of Justices Tirthankar Ghosh and Uday Kumar directed the state to furnish a report on the explosives used in the blast, the progress of the investigation, as well as the forensic report if available. According to the reports, the blast took place at a privately owned coal mine earlier this month, and the state government had announced certain aid packages for the families of those affected. Earlier, the matter was mentioned before a division bench presided over by the Chief Justice T.S. Sivanganam but could not be taken up due to the vacations. The matter has now been listed before the regular bench on 5th November. Stay tuned. A special court in Bengaluru has granted bail to Congress leader B. Nagendra, who was arrested in a money laundering case linked to a scam involving the Karnataka Maharishi Valmiki Scheduled Tribes Development Corporation Limited. Nagendra, a former minister, was arrested by the Enforcement Directorate on 12th July this year. The case surfaced after a corporation official, Chandrasekharan, committed suicide and left a note accusing 3 officials of multi-crore corruption. Following the allegations, Nagendra, who was the Scheduled Tribes Welfare Minister, resigned and was arrested. The state government's special investigation team has completed its investigation and has filed a charge sheet. In another update, the top court today issued notice in a writ petition filed against illegal constructions and encroachments on floodplains and catchment areas. The PIL highlights severe consequences of these illegal constructions, including widespread devastation, loss of lives, and damage to property caused by floods. It also points out that collapse of vital infrastructure such as roads and bridges due to these unauthorized developments. The petitioner has mainly contended that there is an alleged failure of the central government, particularly the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change and the Ministry of Jal Shakti, to protect rivers from illegal constructions and encroachments. It argues that these ministries have not taken necessary actions under the Environment Protection Act of 1986 to safeguard river ecosystems. It stressed that there has been a significant delay in notifying the river conservation zone and that the notification has been pending for 9 years since 2015, despite the first draft being issued in 2011. This delay has led to unchecked growth of illegal constructions along the rivers. The bench led by CJI D.Y. Chandrachud today issued notice and agreed to consider the plea. And lastly, the Kerala High Court has sentenced 8 persons allegedly affiliated with the Indian Union Muslim League to rigorous life imprisonment for the murder of DYFI activist Shibin. The prosecution's case was that after a verbal altercation with the victims, 10 of the 17 accused in this case and a juvenile formed themselves into an unlawful assembly with the object of committing murder of DYFI activists. On executing this plan in January 2015, they attacked the 7 victims, including Shibin. Shibin died from a cut injury on his chest and the other victims suffered injury. Earlier this month, the High Court had reversed the order of acquittal by the Special Additional Sessions Judge for 8 of the 17 accused. They were convicted for unlawful assembly, riot, causing grievous hurt, and murder. The court had observed that the acquittal was based on consideration of non-material facts and non-consideration of material facts. The High Court based the conviction on testimonies of the eyewitnesses and victims. It observed that the court is not imposing harsh punishment as the murder occurred after a quarrel with the murdered victim and others. The convicts have also been sentenced to pay a fine of 1 lakh each, and 5 lakh from that fine will go to the family of the deceased Shibin. For more details on the cases that I mentioned, please visit our website at www.livelaw.in. Stay ahead with quick legal updates only on Live Law. Do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel. You can support us by donating through the thanks button at the bottom of our videos or by becoming a member for just 89 rupees per month.